What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. Oh boy. So things are moving and shaking in the industry, as it were. And what's happening now is every donkey, unicorn, and pony's worst nightmare, which is Sony's literally copying everything Xbox does, and Nintendo. They've copied everything that they deem a success, I guess. Although it doesn't make sense what they're doing now, which is the PS6S. Now, some people are like, "Oh, but it's not the same." I just watched like a clip of Alex listening to Reforge, and he said, I forget what he said, but I was like, how is he so? He's just anti-Xbox, period, right? That's what it is. And he uses every excuse in the book. He flops, says one thing, says the exact opposite thing. I mean, he's worse than, no, he's not worse than MBG. He just does it. He does it. I was gonna say more eloquently, but no, he doesn't do that. They're all bad, but he's saying that it's a false equivalency to something. I forget what else he said. I'm like, how is it a false equivalency? Let's break it down real quick. It's a weaker version of the more powerful console, and it'll cost less, and it's really meant to be an entry point for gamers who don't want to spend a whole bunch of money on video games. Now, he's going to say, oh, the Series S was different because the RAM allocation pool was less than and blah, 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 and it made it hard for the devs and blah, blah, blah. There is an epidemic happening in video game production. I don't know if it's happened. I don't think it's happened all throughout the whole entirety of video games, but it has come to a head this generation in particular, because I don't like to say the phrase devs are lazy, and I've kind of touched on this before, where it's not about the devs being lazy, it's about the publishers not giving the devs enough time to do what they need to do to optimize correctly. And that's really the crux of it. Now, you can say the devs are lazy, but that would be inaccurate, because no dev is lazy. All devs want to make their games the best games ever made in the history of video games. Every dev wants their game to perform at 100 million frames per second, at 1,000 million K, 1,000 million P. K is kind of like the temperature. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't know. Look, the whole thing is that console warriors don't want to critically think about why devs do what they do. Why devs will not optimize all the way, make the strongest console have the best performing version of the game. It's about money and time. That's what it's about. Straight. That's it, and that's all. If the publishers gave these devs enough time to do whatever they needed to do, the Xbox Series X version would be like before the PS5, Pistol Tech 5 Potato came out. It would have been the best version, hands down, all the time, all day long. But they didn't. So they optimized for the PlayStation 5 first, and then they just ported it over to Xbox. Bare minimum. Some devs knew what they were doing. They could optimize for the X real good. You see how the performance is better. If the PS5 was better, more stronger, more powerful than the Xbox Series X, it would never lose in performance. It would never lose. But it has. The Pistol Tech 5 Potato lost to PS5, so it's a bunch of craziness going on over there around PlayStation. So we can't really say, oh, this is the most powerful console. Really? Is it? Is it, or are you just saying it based off of numbers, or is it that it's the most expensive, so you think it's the most powerful? You know, all these questions. But the failing of PlayStation is that they are copying what the perception of failure is for PlayStation fanboys, ponies and donkey unicorns, that they subscribed or ascribed to Xbox. Oh, the Xbox Series S is holding back the generation. Everybody knows that's false. Everybody knows that the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One held back the generation, specifically PlayStation 4, because there are literally more cross-platform games on PlayStation than there are Xbox. Xbox, you know what? I'm gonna put a pin in that. I think that's true. I think Xbox has more current gen games only than PlayStation, but I could be wrong. But there's a handful that I know of on PlayStation, first party, that is. It's not that many. But you know what? That's not even like the main thing. I mean, for this generation, it's starting, right? And the thing is, like, what a lot of people don't, a lot of donkey unicorns and ponies don't get, and they don't pay attention. They're not listening. Sony said that the next gen PlayStation 6 is going to be cross-platform, PlayStation 4, 5, and 6. That means they're not giving up that PlayStation 4 version or the PlayStation 5 version. So what you're getting are PlayStation 5 versions, if you're lucky, is it better frames and better resolution. That's what you're getting. That really isn't a PlayStation 6. That's just a PlayStation 5 Pro. Seriously, it's still a PlayStation 5. It's literally playing the same games. Now, if they were smart, it would scale, right? And so they wouldn't have to be like, oh, we have to do a bespoke PlayStation 6 version. That's not what they're doing. They're making a PlayStation 5 version. Click on that PlayStation 6 button, and there you go. They have to make it as simple as possible for the devs, so that they can save money on production. They don't have to make 3 bespoke versions. Speaking of bespoke versions, the rumor is they're making 3 different PlayStation 6 variants, SKUs, if you will. Huh? How is that even smart? Based off of all the things you've learned. Well, you know what? I'm going to take that back, because Hiroki Totoki wasn't the dude in charge. And maybe Hiroki Totoki knows something that we don't. He is the money guy, after all. I mean, he's CEO now, but he was a CFO before. So he knows he's money-minded all the time. You could take the CEO out the CFO, but you can't take the CFO out of the CEO. So they're making a PS6S, if you will, and then they're making a that doesn't make sense. I heard somebody say they're making 3 SKUs, but I know they're making a more powerful PlayStation. See, and I would say they're making at least 2 SKUs. They're copying what Xbox did this generation. So, but the thing is, we already know that that's true. You say, how is that true? Because they already implemented, I believe they implemented, or they were testing a low energy power or low power state or whatever for the PlayStation 5, which is like, okay, wait, if you're doing a low power state for the PlayStation 5, follow me on this. So low power state in the PlayStation 5 means that low power state will be what the PlayStation 6S is. You understand what I'm saying? They can call it whatever they want to call it. It's still a PlayStation 5 in low power mode. That's what they're doing. And since it's on a little portable screen, that's what it is. And since a PlayStation 5 and a PlayStation 6, they would be the same game, basically. It almost feels like they're lying to everyone when they're saying it's a PlayStation. Yo, the more that I think about it, the more I put these pieces together, I'm looking at King and I'm like, yo, he might be right. He said no PlayStation 6. We're going to run it up on these bums, yada, yada, right? And I'm like, man, there's going to be a PlayStation 6. But then I think about it, and it's like, oh, okay, it'll be a PlayStation 6 in name. But will it really be a PlayStation 6 when you're playing cross-plat games? When the PlayStation 4 will still be holding back the PlayStation 6? That's some sadness. Sadness. That's what's happening for next gen of PlayStation. And the other part of it is so bad is like y'all don't really have games to look forward to. I mean, you got a handful of, not even at most a handful of games that y'all know that exist to be being made right now. And I'm like, okay, but there's no guarantee that those games are going to be, because 2 of them are brand new games, brand new IP. So it's like, I mean, that's exciting, but Sony hasn't had a good track record with brand new IPs as of late. Ever since they did the live service push, all of them bad. So that's bad. But you know, you're looking forward. You got PlayStation 6S, and then this idiot, I don't know what journalist it was, some dumbass talking about, oh, the next Xbox, the Xbox Magnum, it's gonna be twice as expensive as the PlayStation Pisser 6, the Pisser 6, Pisser Tech 6S. It's gonna be twice as expensive because of the big old chip in it and all the game stores that are gonna be in there. And I'm like, huh? How does having an open platform that allows you to just download apps? That's like saying, oh, the PlayStation 6 is gonna be more expensive because you could download Netflix on it. It's like, why? Because you could download Crunchyroll and all these fun to make, and then Netflix, because there's anime on Netflix too. So yeah, it's a different streaming that's not Sony's, so it's gonna cost more. I'm like, that's not how that works. So why would it work the other way? Oh, because they're gonna lose money on sales, so everybody gonna buy the games on Steam. I'm like, still not making sense. I mean, think about it. Every PC, I mean, it's just a PC model. Although it's a little less than a PC. It's still a PC, but it's more of a console than a PC. Does that make sense? I mean, it's both, basically, which is cool. So it's like, okay, if it's a console and a PC, and it can do the PC things, but kind of on the console skin, makes it easier for people, so they don't have to go dibble dabble and stuff. What's the problem, right? And the stores being on whatever platform doesn't make the hardware more expensive. That's obviously not how. It's about the cost of the hardware. And if they're going to take a loss on the hardware, subsidize. They're not going to subsidize. That's why it's going to cost more. And the price of the components. That's what makes it more expensive. Not the OS. Not, it's Paramount Plus is on there. It's more money. Or Disney Plus is on there too. Get more money. That's how stupid y'all are. Like, oh, you could download this app. Oh, it's more money. How does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. That's why that story is false, and it's just not. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. That's all it is. Bullshit. Just saying. Yeah. So, look, I said this. I said this many videos ago that Sony is creatively bankrupt. PlayStation creatively bankrupt. And you see it. You see how they have to copy everyone else but not be original. You see, they're doing it every day. And now they're like, yeah, we're going to copy the Switch and we're going to copy Xbox. That sounds like a good idea. Let's do that. Like, y'all ain't got no ideas of your own. I mean, Mark Cerny is doing his stuck this, so he's trying to do as best he can, try to make the hardware kind of cool. I don't know what kind of magic he's gonna do this time, because if it ain't as powerful as the Xbox, I mean, that thing better be dirt cheap. It better be cheaper than the than the Switch 2. If it ain't cheaper than $500, nope. That's all I'm saying. Ain't gonna do it. And I'm like, what's the Xbox? Apparently like, oh, $900 for the new Xbox, and I'm like, I'm a wait. I don't look. I got my X. It's gonna be cross-gen for at least another 5 years past the beginning of the generation, I would say. So I'm not worried about it. But worst comes, I'll buy it. I'll buy the new Xbox. I want to get their bespoke, not bespoke, but I want to get their first party handheld if they're still making that. I think they are. I think a lot of people misconstrued what they said. Basically, they put the work on that product on hold so they can work on the OS, the software side. They're a software company. They needed to work on the software side for the third party OEM so that can be strong, that foundation can be strong, so that they're not struggling when they come out with their own, basically. And then they have to figure out, okay, is the main console going to have a similar OS as the handhelds or blah, blah, blah. I would say yes, use the same design language so it's all kind of feels the same. But, whatever. They know what they're doing. But, look, it's just ridiculous. I mean, look, like I said, I was watching Alex this morning, earlier today, and he's not going to ever have a lack of content because these idiots keep on coming out here talking. I mean, he's got hours on Reforge alone. And so I'm like, after him, he's got MBG. After him, I don't know who else. I don't know. He kind of likes Porter. Porter Rock's all right. I make fun of Porter Rock, but he's all right. So I don't know, man. This is crazy. But anyway, I'm rambling. I'm out of steam, man. I gotta bounce. But I appreciate you hanging out, showing like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the PS6S. Oh man, they're down bad. The Ponies is down bad. Everybody's down bad. But I appreciate. I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Till the wait.